A warm welcome to the Royal Insider. Hello and welcome to the exclusive channel of Sheikh Hamdan's fans. This is your go-to source for the latest news, updates, and insights into the life and times of the Crown Prince of Dubai and the royal family. In a special moment of connection, Sheikh Hamdan recently took to Instagram to share a heartfelt poem that touched the hearts of many. Today, we're excited to bring you the English translation of this beautiful piece of poetry, offering a unique glimpse into the thoughts and feelings of the Royal Highness. She was the catalyst for my decision, the one who had set me on this path. The weight of it pressed down on me like a physical force, making my chest feel heavy and constricted. I hadn't taken it lightly. Every step, every hesitation, every sleepless night had led me to this moment. And at the center of it all, she was the reason I had made this choice. I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel with an intensity that made my knuckles ache. The world outside seemed to be moving on, oblivious to the seismic shift that had taken place within me. My phone buzzed on the seat beside me, but I knew who it was without needing to check. I had told her I needed time and space to figure things out, but the truth was, I had already made up my mind. I just didn't know how to put it into words. I took a deep breath, my fingers trembling as I reached for my phone. Her name on the screen seemed to glow with an otherworldly light, as if the universe was conspiring to bring us together. "Hey," she said, her voice a gentle breeze on a summer day. "Hey," I replied, my voice barely audible over the pounding of my heart. The silence between us was like a living, breathing entity, pulsing with unspoken words and unresolved emotions. "You okay?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. "No, not really," I admitted, my words spilling out like a confession. "I will be," I added, trying to reassure her. I could almost hear her exhaling, the sound of her hesitation before speaking again. "You don't have to do this alone," she said, her words a soothing balm to my soul. I closed my eyes, pressing my forehead against the steering wheel. She didn't understand, or maybe she did, and that was the problem. "I know," I murmured. "But I have to." Another pause followed, and then she asked, "Tell me why." I swallowed hard, the words tumbling out of me like a river. "Because of you," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. There was silence on the other end of the line, and then, so softly that I almost missed it, she said, "Me." I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. "You made me realize that I can't keep living like this," I said, my words pouring out like a river. "I want to be brave like you, to stop running from what I want." The stillness on the other end of the line was oppressive, a physical presence that seemed to suffocate me. When she finally spoke, her voice was laced with emotion, each word a fragile, trembling thing. "What is it that you want?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I took a deep breath, my fingers tightening around the phone as if it were a lifeline. "I want a life that feels like mine," I admitted, the words spilling out like a confession. "And I want you in it." The phrase hung in the air, a challenge, a promise, and a declaration all at once. The silence on the other end of the line was a palpable thing, a living, breathing entity that seemed to pulse with unspoken emotions. It stretched between us, a vast and unbridgeable chasm, and yet, it seemed to hold a strange, almost palpable intimacy. Her breathing was slow and uneven, like a gentle breeze on a summer day. It was as if she was savoring every word, every syllable, weighing the truth and depth of my confession. "What is your intention?" she asked, her voice barely audible, a whispered inquiry that seemed to hold 1,000 unspoken questions. I exhaled, my fingers tightening around the phone as if it were a lifeline. "Yeah," I admitted, the word a gentle surrender. For so long, I had been running, fleeing from the shadows of my past, from the fears that had defined me, from the expectations that had been imposed upon me. But in this moment, I felt a sense of freedom, a sense of release, as if I had finally found the courage to be myself. I had become a prisoner of my own making, trapped in a cycle of routine and responsibility. I had lost sight of who I truly was, buried beneath the expectations of others and the weight of my own obligations. But then she entered my life, a whirlwind of passion and purpose. She was fearless, unafraid to take risks and pursue her dreams with reckless abandon. Watching her live so unapologetically forced me to confront my own fears and doubts. I realized that my fear of change, fear of failure, and fear of losing those who loved me had held me back for so long. I had been convinced that playing it safe, following the rules, and staying in my comfort zone was the only way to live without regret. But now, I was starting to see that maybe regret wasn't about taking risks, but about never trying at all. I couldn't keep living like this, stuck in a life that wasn't truly mine. I confessed my feelings, my voice barely above a whisper. I've been stuck for so long, but you made me realize there's more to life than this. She was quiet, but I could sense her emotions, her breath catching in her throat. I never wanted to push you into anything, she said softly, her words a gentle breeze on a summer day. I shook my head, even though she couldn't see me. You didn't push me, I replied. You just made me see what was already there. For the first time in a long time, I felt lighter, as if the weight I had carried for so long was finally starting to shift. I took a deep breath, feeling a sense of freedom and possibility. I raked my fingers through my hair, the tension in my body palpable. I know what I want, I declared, my voice steady and resolute. Her voice was a gentle breeze on a summer day, barely audible, yet piercing in its intensity. What is it that you want? She asked, her words hanging in the air like an unanswered question. I paused, the world around me melting away, leaving only the two of us suspended in time. You, I whispered, the word a confession, a promise, and a vow. Her laughter was a ray of sunlight breaking through the clouds, warm, golden, and liberating. What are you waiting for? She asked, her voice a gentle nudge, a soft encouragement to take the leap. I gazed out at the horizon, the road stretching out before me like an open canvas, waiting to be explored. Nothing, I replied, my voice firm, resolute, and full of conviction. As I hit the open road, the city lights blurred past me, a kaleidoscope of colors and emotions. I felt alive, free, and unencumbered, ready to embark on a new journey, one that would take me to places unknown, and to a future that was full of promise and possibility. The silence between us was not empty, it was filled with understanding, unspoken promises, and the thrill of a future waiting just beyond the horizon. I'll be there soon, I whispered, and for the first time in my life, I felt a sense of purpose, of running towards something instead of away. The weight of everything I left behind still lingered, but it was lighter than I had imagined. There was no regret, no second guessing, only the gentle hum of my engine and the thought of her waiting for me. The sun was just starting to rise when I pulled into the small parking lot of our new apartment. It was a simple brick building with a narrow staircase leading up to the second floor, but to me, it was a fresh start. And she was already there, standing by the door, wrapped in one of my hoodies, her hair slightly messy from sleep. I barely had time to get out of the car before she was in my arms, holding me so tightly it was as if she feared I might vanish if she let go. You really did it, she whispered against my shoulder. I pulled back just enough to look at her, a smile spreading across my face. I told you I would. Her eyes searched mine, as if trying to make sense of the moment. Are you okay? She asked, her voice filled with concern. I exhaled, feeling the tension drain from my body. Yeah, I said, and just like that, everything felt right. We stepped inside the apartment, which was mostly empty, just a mattress on the floor, a few bags of clothes, and a pile of takeout containers from the night before. It was messy, unfinished, but it was ours. I set my bags down, looking around, taking it all in. It's weird, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. The city awakened around us, its morning pulse syncing with our own. We strolled through streets that still felt foreign, but with her hand in mine, the unfamiliarity melted away. A quaint diner beckoned us, its warm sense of coffee and baked goods enveloping us like a haven. We settled into a booth by the window, and for the first time in ages, I felt unencumbered. As she stirred sugar into her coffee, her gaze met mine, soft and inquiring. You really okay? She asked, her voice a gentle probe. I sipped my coffee, feeling its warmth spread through me. Yeah, I said, the truth resonating within me. I am. Her eyes crinkled at the corners as she smiled. I'm really proud of you, she said, her words wrapping around my heart like a gentle hug. I felt a lump form in my throat, a mix of emotions swirling within me, gratitude, love, and a deep sense of connection.